Hello everyone, I'm MVL and this is 5 expensive games that I own in my collection. This won't be a rarest game list, as rare doesn't always mean expensive and vice versa. For example, I've never seen another copy of this PC game, Nemesis. It's a shoot 'em up, which I think came bundled with something, but I don't really know what. I originally thought it was a version of Gradius, but this is vertical scrolling as opposed to horizontal. It's probably pretty rare, but even though there are none out there, it's pretty worthless. Likewise, Vixen on the Commodore 64 is pretty rare, and Nightwalk on the Amiga is also pretty rare. Copies of these games never really show up anywhere, but they're not really quite expensive. Whereas a game like Panzer Dragoon Saga is actually plentifully sold online and is really expensive. And that's what we're talking about. And let me quickly say I don't actively collect expensive games, quite the opposite. I just collect what I can and what I enjoy, so without checking the price of every single game I have off the top of my head, here are 5 expensive games. Now, prices change all the time, so let me first do a special mention to a time where I really slipped up. Call this an honourable or dishonourable mention. What you see here is footage from a video I did at a retro gaming shop called Old and New. They had a bunch of copies of a shareware version of Diablo Big Box on PC. I wanted one of them, but since it was a shareware version, I left it and picked up a different game. Boy, did I screw up there. They were selling it for just a couple of pounds, and current prices of that game have it for around 200 to 300. What was I thinking? Well, my reasoning at the time was it wasn't a complete game, more like a demo, and really wasn't that expensive at the time either. I have been back there to try and grab one, but the store is long gone. Closed down shortly after I made that video. The regret is real. So, I can always look back and see my error. Well, here's what I do have. First up, the first game had one scroll, and the second? Well, just look at that. Did you know they originally wanted to do a slipcover for this game where the sleeve was pants, and when you take it off, well, I guess you can imagine. Anyway, the game we're talking about is this. The American version of this game also comes with a soundtrack and is very cheap. So would you believe that a PAL copy like this is worth around 300? And that's without the pre-order art cards, which I have here. So with that in mind, I have no idea what this is worth. Next up we have one of the biggest games in my collection, Resident Evil 2 Collector's Edition on the PlayStation 4. This was fairly expensive when it came out and is even more sought after now. I've seen it go for 300 and up. Man, I love this thing as it comes packed with so many extras, but the box is too big. It takes up way too much space. But since the original game was one of my favourites, I just couldn't resist it, and I also did an unboxing of this which you can check out on my channel. Next up we have Project 05 Maiden of Blackwater Limited Edition on the Wii U. I remember paying around 50 for this at the time and thinking that's way too much, but it can go for around 250 to 300 complete and in good condition now. The PAL edition was the only English language physical version of this game and is highly sought after by survival horror enthusiasts like myself. Next up we have a rather rare European collector's edition version of Final Fantasy VIII. I bought this from a seller I frequent for just a couple of pounds, and I really wasn't trying to catch them slipping. The seller thought it was just the PC version empty box and was happy to be rid of it. Turns out it's an awesome display piece for one of my favourite games. I have seen just the poster in this go for around £70 online by itself. Now to be fair, this is not complete, it's missing the game, which would be a copy with not for resale printed on the back, and it's also missing a memory card, which would just be a regular memory card I believe in this version. Also, some of the memory card stickers have been removed that were present. Who would do that? Now complete, this goes for around 300 to 500. As it is, I estimate around £150. But really the value doesn't matter to me, as this will be on display as one of my favourite RPGs. Now, finally, we have Castlevania The New Generation, or Castlevania Bloodlines as it is known overseas, on the Mega Drive. I bought this from Retro Replay in St. Austell, along with some other complete in-box games at the time, like the Chaos Engine, which I only had a cartridge at the time and I upgraded to the box. But this really was the cream of the crop. It wasn't long after this that the Mega Drive Mini was announced, And that has that game on it. You can get it for fairly cheap, and it has loads of other great games on it as well. But it's still fantastic to own a physical copy of this. It goes for around 150, complete and in good shape. And there you have it. Those are 5 expensive games from my collection. If you like the video, please leave a like or a comment to let me know what you think. And don't forget to subscribe for more awesome content. And if you'd like to, you can also support me through Patreon or YouTube channel membership. Thank you for watching. I've been MVL, and I will catch you next time.